You're watching the FARC Elite Series, fueled by Smash Beer on OEN. Brought to you this week by Apex, the official racing school of FARC. And if those guys can graduate from our program, then so can you. It's been a long winter, but now it is finally that time of year again. The cars are dusted off and awoken from their hibernation in the race shops, garages, and sheds across the country, and they are brought to this 2-mile Texas World Speedway in College Station, Texas, to kick off the brand new FARC season with the running of the Smash Beer 200. The weekend's festivities began with Carl's P1 Award qualifying, in which 94 cars took to the track, and it would be Leslie Riggs claiming the Carl's P1 Award for M&J Racing, and the outside of the front row would belong to Riley Durbin, rookie Riley Durbin, for Focus Autosports. Speaking of rookies, we are now here to bring you the annual Apex Racing School Rookie Shootout, the first test of the new cars and the new drivers in race trim. We have 19 drivers on hand to duke it out for 30 laps in pursuit of a 25 championship point bonus and a guaranteed starting spot in the Smash Beer 200. This race has always been a good indicator of who to watch out for and who to watch out for, if you know what I mean. The starting lineup, as always, was decided by a random draw, and Truman Ellison drew the pole, although he was one of the slowest cars in pole qualifying. So he'll be interesting to watch out for, as Efrain Garza, all the way from California, starts in second. Starting in row 2 will be Jay Rivers in a family-owned 09 SAR, and Jacob Walls, one of MT Motorsports' new drivers, fresh off their win at Fort Worth last year. Starting on the inside of row 3 will be Danica Hollifield in the number 26 for the new Peak Williamson team, and on her outside is Riley Durbin, once again the outside pole sitter for the Smash Beer 200. Row 4 will be Mason St. Martin, the 15-year-old younger brother of Stacy St. Martin in the Arnold Pine car, and Evan Goodman, one of Flying High Motorsports' new drivers. Row 5 will be Bradley Carlisle, winner of 3 truck races last year, and Casey Lester, who finally finds himself a stable ride. I'm sure that he will have a long and bright future ahead of him. Row 6 will be Robert Lechleiter, the brother of Dan Lechleiter, and Matt Duncan in the Duncan Racing car. In row 7, we have Kyle Cobb in the Tommy Ashby-owned Lennard, and Joshua Pacer, who ran in what was the Regional Cup Series last year. On the inside of row 8 is Greg Gray, another one of the ex-Regional Cup drivers who won a race in that series last year, joining Ken Groves Racing for this season, and on his outside, Luke Pellerin in one of the Messena cars. Ross Carter in the other Messena car is starting on the outside of row 9, and on his inside, Zach Churchill in the 84. And bringing up the rear of the field will be Todd Rowe, the second of the Flying High Motorsports cars. And now here are the highlights from the rookie shootout. Truman Ellison leads at the start. A lot of people were nervous about him being up front, especially since he was so slow in qualifying, and their nervousness was completely justified. As he gets off to a terrible start, Efrain Garza and Riley Durbin rocket around the outside. Riley Durbin in the 38 goes to the lead, and Jacob Walls in the 44 is going to tell Efrain Garza to hurry up and get going, but that's not happening as Garza also falls through the field on this first lap. Riley Durbin, on the other hand, makes a clean getaway, and he's going to lead the very first lap of the new FARC season. It seems that the Focus Autosports crew has not changed a thing on that car after pole qualifying. Durbin is a rocket ship right now, but Jacob Walls would catch up and get around the 38 to take the lead for himself, coming to the beginning of lap number 3. Jacob Walls will be splitting this 44 car with Shane Williams at MT Motorsports this season in a dual championship bid. Shane Williams is also a rookie this season, but the team elected to not enter him in this race. And as you can see from Truman Ellison's onboard camera, he has already lost the pack as of lap 4. I'm very surprised that there wasn't a huge crash on the first lap as everyone scrambled to get around the 04. Todd Rowe in the 28 started in last, but now he has charged his way into the lead as Jacob Walls is now swarmed by Ross Carter and Brad Carlisle. Carlisle now gets a shot at the lead. Bradley Carlisle won 3 consecutive FARC truck races in 2014 with Desert Star Motorsports. That team has now expanded into the FARC Elite Series as there's contact between Mason St. Martin and Robert Lechleiter. But back to Carlisle and Desert Star Motorsports. They are trying their hand at Elite Series racing after purchasing the HQS equipment. HQS, as you might remember, swept the Rookie Shootout and the Smash Beer 500 with Tammy Barnton, but now Ross Carter is in trouble, and he goes for a spin cycle after contact from Mason St. Martin. That all started off at Turn 2 after Riley Durbin got into the back of Brad Carlisle. Mason St. Martin is going to drop out of the race. That car doesn't appear to be too heavily damaged, so it seems that Arnold Pine Racing is going to cut their losses and preserve and repair that car for the Smash Beer 200 qualifiers. Todd Rowe leads after the restart, but he would soon be challenged by Jacob Walls, 3 wide for second behind the leader. As the race nears its halfway point, Jacob Walls is trying to ensure that MT Motorsports' faith in him is rewarded. He will be in this car for this race only. Shane Williams is going to try to qualify the 44 for the Smash Beer 200. But it would be interesting to see what MT Motorsports would do if Walls were to win this race and earn himself that starting spot, as we see that Todd Rowe and Riley Durbin are getting a little too personal on board with Todd Rowe right now. Going back through the field, we see that Greg Gray and Kyle Cobb are struggling a bit right now, but they're still enjoying a battle for 15th. Greg Gray will be splitting the 78 car at Groves Racing with Andrea Kinasa for a majority of the season, and Kyle Cobb will be running a few races for the Ashby team. The last time we saw Kyle Cobb was at Rockford a couple years ago. He's struggling right now, but I do believe that he showed some promise back then. 3 wide for the lead. Todd Rowe on the bottom, trying to get by Riley Durbin and Luke Pellerin. Luke Pellerin, as you may remember, almost won the truck race here. It was only him and Dan Edwards on the green-white checkered restart, but Edwards held him off as Brad Carlisle now tries to get by Riley Durbin for second place and get back up there to challenge Todd Rowe. But now Pellerin cuts down to the bottom and tries to get by the both of them, but now the leaders encounter Ross Carter, and Carter holds up Pellerin, who you might recognize as his teammate. Good job, Ross Carter. Carter also holds up the 44 of Jacob Walls, but it wouldn't take Walls too much time to get back up there and challenge for the win once again. We now have fewer than 10 laps left, and Walls is still not showing too much patience. As fast as Walls has been, you got to remember that he nearly took out Efrain Garza at the beginning of the race, and he's still not doing too much to try to win over his fellow competitors. Truman Ellison is now going to go a lap down to the leaders, and he holds up Brad Carlisle. There's Jay Rivers in the black and blue 09, rocketing around the outside for 5th place. Truman Ellison has talked himself up quite a bit off track, but he's not doing too much to back those words up. Todd Rowe has led several laps in a row, which we haven't seen too much of today, but now with 5 laps to go, Jacob Walls catches up to him and now makes a move around the inside. Going into turn 3 for the lead, here comes Robert Lechleiter in the 11. He wants second spot. This is shaping up to be a good finish. We've got 6 cars duking it out for the win at the moment. 7 if you include Brad Carlisle, who's still at the back of the pack, but he caught up, and there you see he's the 3rd car in line. Ross Carter gets lapped once again, and he's going to hold up Todd Rowe, who started last, charged up to the front within 5 laps, led several laps, but now he finds himself in the back. But with 2 laps to go, Truman Ellison would deal an even bigger blow to the lead pack as he now holds up 2 lanes of traffic at once. Brad Carlisle gets through and takes over the lead. Coming to the white flag, Jacob Walls and Luke Pellerin desperately trying to find a way around the 04. There goes Pellerin. He's going to bring the inside line with him, but these guys are now several car lengths behind Brad Carlisle. Desert Star Motorsports bought out HQS Racing, the team that took this race and the Smash Beer 500 last year, and now they're going to do it for themselves as Brad Carlisle takes the win after a lapped car basically wiped out his competition. But credit where credit is due. He was fast all day, and he got around that lapped car while no one else could. So congratulations to Brad Carlisle and Desert Star Motorsports on their big win. They will earn the 25 championship points and a guaranteed starting spot in the Smash Beer 200.